Morning, Belzer. It's time for our morning announcements. I'm Christian.
And I'm Tamia. We're here to bring you the latest in Belzer news. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today is Wednesday, November 30th. It is National Chocolate Mousse Day.
Today's lunch meat is soft taco or walking taco,
Pepperoni Bosco stick with cheese,
Italian chef salad,
variety deli sandwich or wrap,
refried bean.
and broccoli with cheese.
There is an interstate highway in Arizona that uses the metric system on its signs. It's the only highway in the United States that uses the metric system. Now to CNN with the full story.
So, first of all, do you know how many kilometers are in a mile?
It's approximately, in kilometers, it's a little bit.
It's about 2.5.
1.6.
My math is probably a little shaky.
1.5.
I would have to Google that.
A little bit of history here. We're on Interstate 19 in southern Arizona. This is really a carryover from the Jimmy Carter administration. The federal government was looking into applying the metric system across the United States. And they tested several different highways in the United States, and one of them being Interstate 19, which links Tucson and Mexico. Here we are nearly 40 years later, and Interstate 19 is the only highway in the United States that still has metric throughout the entire corridor. We have a project to start in the near future where a lot of these signs are getting outdated. They're not as reflective at night, and we need to add new signage. We asked for public comments from the communities, and we got a lot of people that said, we don't want any of the signs to change. We like the metric signs.
Well, it was weird at the beginning because all of a sudden we started talking, wait a minute, this is kilometers. And being in the United States is a little bit weird. It gives you a nice feeling that it reminds you of your own country and all European countries.
You know, when I first moved here about a year and a half ago, I noticed the signs were in kilometers, and it seemed kind of odd to me. And now I travel the road quite a bit, so I've become accustomed to it and don't really notice it.
We drive all the way from Seattle, and when we hit the interstate, we feel we're home because then you start to see the kilometer signs.
One of the options is going to be including signage that lists distances in mileage and kilometers. That could possibly be the best of both worlds for everyone.
I'm not afraid of it. I think it'll happen. It probably is sensible to do so. So while it's not changed, I think I'll just enjoy them. Friends will say, what's with the road signs? It's southern Arizona.
Today, a Brazilian soccer team's plane crashed in Colombia on its way to a tournament. Investigators stated that the crash was caused by an electric failure that resulted in the plane losing control. 75 out of the 81 people on board the plane were killed. The soccer team's opponent asked the conference to give the championship title to Brazil.
Huge wildfires have started blazing through the ceiling in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and burning down many buildings. Here is CNN with more information.
An orange glow fills the night sky as one of the many fires burns in and around the Tennessee resort towns of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Officials say severe drought and hurricane-force wind gusts combined to fuel a, quote, perfect storm.
Those winds of that number to pick up embers of fire and take them greater than a mile away. At the same time we were facing that challenge, those high winds were knocking down trees. Those trees were hitting power lines, and they were falling on this very dry, extreme drought-like condition, and everything was catching on fire.
the fires forcing mass evacuations, sending residents and tourists into nearby Red Cross shelters. Popular area attractions were under in the Smokies, which houses 1,500 animals and marine life, and the Dollywood theme. At least 150 homes and businesses damaged or destroyed, including this 16-story hotel complex in Gatlinburg. A guest shot this video before escaping.
But all of the previous fires I've been part of could not have prepared me for what we have experienced over the past 24 hours.
Now to Demi with more sports and a weather update.
Good morning, Bruins. I'm Demi, and I'm here to bring you the sports and weather update. Today's weather will be a high of 50 and a low of 48. Yesterday, both 7th and 8th grade played Perry Meridian home. Both 7th and 8th grade lost, but 8th grade boys went into double overtime before losing. Also yesterday, the Cavaliers played against the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks won 118 and 101. And the LA Clippers played against the New York Nets. Nets won 127 and 122. Swimming tryouts will begin Thursday at 4 o'clock, and the trials for girls basketball will begin next Tuesday. Students must have a completed physical packet on file within the athletic office. Now back to our anchors.
Thank you, Demi.
Reminder to all students from our principals, when arriving at school, your winter coats are to be put in your lockers for the day and should not be worn to class.
There will be no academic pursuit today. The team will continue with this meets next Wednesday.
The next Wildlife Club meeting is this Friday morning at 7:30 in the big gym. All Belzer students are welcome. Come for fun, fellowship, and a small group discussion. Enter through door 14. If you have any questions, ask Mr. Sears or Mr. Miller.
Now to a public service announcement.
Okay, we're doing our purpose announcement about materialistic things. It's middle school, about to go to high school and whatnot, and you won't be the freshest in the school, the coldest, the cutest, all this other stuff, but it's not worth it. You just wasting your money. Like, listen, you gonna be having get the new Jordans come out every week. It's never that deep. We just wanted to show you guys, just be yourself. People can be mean, but you know you're doing you, so just do you. Like, you don't have to do it.
People are judged by what they wear or what type of brands they wear. If it's not the most up-to-date brand, or if they don't get everything that comes out.
It's basically like just being you. Like, you don't have to care what people say, or you don't even have to listen to what they say, because what they say is just negative. You should always want to be around positive people to do positive thing. So yeah, materialistic it's not worth it. It's just, you just wasting money. You just basically being a peon because you getting everything that everybody else got.
Right.
So materialistic is just
personality is key, and then it's okay, like, dress nice and all that, but don't let people bring you down because maybe you can't afford it or something. But
it ain't even about how much money you got. It's about you being you. If you truly, truly love Jordans, Nike, Adidas, all that stuff, you can get it. We're not saying you cannot get it. We just saying, like, you just getting it to fit in. Like, just be you. It don't matter if you like cowgirl boots, cowboy boots, like wear hats all the time. Like, that's just you. That's your personality. Like, I like wearing my hair in an afro. That just make me be me. I don't always like to get my hair done.
And I like wearing a weave.
Here's today's interesting fact. It is considered good luck in Japan if a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry.
Today's celebrity birthday is Ben Stiller, who turned 50 today. He is best known for his roles in movies like There's Something About Mary, Night at the Museum, and the Zoolander movies.
On this day in history, in 1989, the first female serial killer in America strikes.
Our quote today is from Eleanor Roosevelt, who once said, "With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts."
Now to Mr. Harshaw with the rest of your morning announcements.
Have a great day, Bruins.
Good morning, Bruins. I am going to talk to you this morning about something very important, so I'm going to ask that everybody stop whatever it is they might be doing and make sure that they're paying attention. Teachers, if you need to turn the volume up a little bit on your panel, just make sure that students are able to hear. I want to be very clear about our new system called HERO that we are implementing here at Belzer starting today. Students, I've talked a little bit about this before, but we are finally ready to go and ready to roll today. So today will be the first day of implementing our HERO student tracking system. Now, that system will be used to track students' behaviors. We are going to use it in two different ways. The first way is to track negative behaviors, and right now in our building, one negative behavior we're going to use to track is tardies. So today, you will notice that we will be using this system in the building. Down the road, we will also be using this system to track positive behaviors. We have our core 4 behavior expectations that we've been talking about since literally the first day of school, and we're going to also use this system to track the students who are doing the right thing and meeting our expectations. So there's a couple things that I made some notes about that I want to make sure I go over today so that everybody has a clear understanding of what's going on. In order to make this program work and to make it move quickly, it is essential that all students have a student ID. At the beginning of the year and during picture day, we made sure all students had an ID and a lanyard. If you no longer have your ID or lanyard, you need to make sure that you get a replacement one in student services before Friday. Teachers, I'm going to ask that on Friday you go through your college prep class, and I want you to send me an email with the name of any student in your college prep class on Friday morning that does not have an ID on a lanyard, because the expectation is that all 1,156 students here at Belzer have one on at all times. So students, make sure that if you have your ID somewhere in your locker or at home, it needs to be with you at school and on you at all times. Second thing I want to talk about is the expectation of simply being responsible and getting to class on time. It's important for a number of reasons that I shared earlier this year, and I'm not going to go through all of those today, but understand I've been walking around this building quite a bit over the last year and a half, and I know that you can get from any location to any other location in 5 minutes. So please make sure that you are making an effort to get to class on time. Walk and talk. If you want to talk with your friends, go ahead and do that, but make sure that you are moving towards class. What I have been seeing is a lot of students who are hearing that 1-minute bell, which I think has been helpful for us, but some students are talking or walking or kind of slugging around until that 1-minute bell rings, and then suddenly they want to sprint to class. And of course, for obvious reasons, that makes our hallways unsafe. Somebody comes around the corner and bumps into somebody else. With the winter coming, we have wet floors sometimes. You want to make sure that you are walking to class. So I want you to know, at least in the A hallway, how I operate. If students come running down the hallway, I stop them and make them go all the way back. And chances are they are going to be tardy to class when I make them do that, but we are not going to allow running in the hallways. So please make sure that you are walking and getting to class on time. Students, I want to make sure you know, yesterday at our staff meeting, I asked all teachers in the building, when the bell rings to start class, I have asked those teachers to close their classroom door. The reason we're going to do that is because I want to make it very clear that you have now missed that deadline, that bell, and you are tardy to class. I have also asked that teachers not allow students to come into their room without a HERO pass. So, students, if you arrive to a class today after the bell and the door is closed, understand that the teacher is not going to let you in the classroom unless you have a pass. So, you need to know where to go to get those passes. If you are in the A hallway, you can come to me. I should be out there in the common area there by door 1. If I'm not there, you can step right into the main office to see Miss Mitchell at the attendance desk. She can get you a pass. Students in the main hallway or down even in the gym or performing arts area, your closest stop is probably going to be student services. 8th graders who are upstairs, you also will have you'll have a person up there in the hallway with a portable printer who can get you a pass, because our goal is to get you right back to class as soon as possible. We don't want you missing a lot of instructional time. The last thing I want to talk about, understand that there are consequences that are aligned with our tardy policy, and I've asked Mrs. Trotter and the BTV staff to scroll our tardy policy on our screens throughout the day in case you've forgotten what those consequences are. That's also available on our webpage, and I think you might even have access to it on your student launch page. But I want to make sure that you are clear that we will have consequences for tardies. That's the only reason we're taking all this time to track your behavior is we need to address some of those students that are really having a hard time getting to class on time, and we're going to do that with some consequences for those negative choices. So, here's the good news. Today, this morning, every student in this building for the second 9 weeks started off with 0 tardies. Everybody in this building started off with a clean slate. Because we have, again, about 3 weeks left before we go on winter break, and I've given you the opportunity to kind of start over, make sure that as we implement this new system, you have a chance to do good things, make good choices. Again, in 3.5 weeks, if you get to a point where you're receiving consequences, the good news is, as soon as that administrator or teacher or admin assistant prints off that pass for you, right on that pass, it will show you your name, the date, how many tardies you've had, and what your consequence is. So if you are on the level of tardies where you now have an after-school detention, it will print that right on the pass for you so that we don't have to call you out of class and let you know. It'll have the assignment for your consequence and the date right there on the pass. So please understand the goal of this, again, is to hold you accountable. Teachers, as a reminder, please double check your students that don't have IDs. We need to make sure that they have an ID on them by Friday. And again, I'll remind you on Friday, but if any student does not have an ID hanging around their neck when they come to college prep on Friday, I'd like you to email me directly the names of those students so we can get that problem fixed. I believe that I have now touched all of the points that I've written down. Students, again, I'm excited about the implementation of this program. I think it really will help provide some incentive for us as far as tardies go in the building. My goal is that when that bell rings and I'm standing there in my spot in the A hallway, that I look to my right and my left and down that main hallway and I don't see any students. Everybody is in a classroom, on time, ready to learn, where instruction can take place. Teachers, I appreciate your support with this program as well. Again, when the bell rings today, all you need to do is simply close the door and make sure that students do not enter your room without a pass from the HERO system. Thank you so much for your cooperation. I look forward to having a great day today as we implement this new system. So kids, get to class on time. It's important and we appreciate your cooperation. Thanks and have a good day.